Hello students, in this video we are going to learn about interconnect scaling. In our previous video we saw about interconnect delay model. That is, what is a delay which is associated with an interconnect. Now we are going to scale down your interconnect, and because of scaling down your interconnect, what are the various things are going to happen will be learned in this video. We shall move on into the video. See, in your interconnect, what are the various dimensions that we can scale down? See, we know that everything is scaled down. When your technology is progressing, we are scaling down your devices. Obviously, my interconnect will also be scaled because they are nothing but the wires. We are reducing the size of the device. In turn, we are reducing the size of the interconnect also. So, what are the dimensions that can be reduced in interconnectors? The width W, thickness T, and your oxide length Tox. So now when we are reducing the width, okay, because of the reducing in width, what is going to happen? So the new length, which is W dash, which is equal to W by S. I have reduced the line width. What is the sheet resistance RS? RS is equal to rho by T. So as I reduce the W, is there any effect that is happening to my RS? Nothing, because my R is proportional. I mean, it is a constant and it is not depending on my width W. So the new resistance, the sheet resistance, even after scaling down the width, will be the same. Now, what is the line resistance per unit length, which is R, where R is equal to RS by W, that we have seen in the previous video. So R is nothing but the sheet resistance per W. Now, the new resistance after scaling down will be R dash, and this R dash is nothing but RS dash by W dash. So what is this W dash? W dash is equal to W by S, Z. So W dash is nothing but W by S. So because of that, the new R dash will be equal to S into R. So what I can infer from this, my resistance after B, that is resistance per unit length, after the width has been scaled down by S, makes my resistance to be increased by a factor of S. So my resistance is increasing when I scale down the width of my interconnect. That is what you have to understand. See, I reduce the width of the interconnect. Because of that, my resistance per unit length is increased by a factor of S. Now, I'm assuming my L is being reduced. See, that width is there and my length is also there. So I'm reducing the L, which is the length of the interconnect. So by a factor of S, which is L bar, which is equal to L by S. Now what is this R line? R line is nothing but R into L. We know that. Now what is this R line dash? R line dash is equal to R dash into L dash. What is R dash? Which is S into R. What is L dash? I have reduced the L. Okay, that is what L dash is equal to L by S. So what is going to happen? My R line dash is equal to R into L. What is this R into L? R into L is nothing but your R line. So my new line resistance of your interconnect is the same as that of your previous line, even if you have reduced the length and your width. So even I reduce the width and length, I found that my new line resistance is the same as that of my previous line resistance. Now we shall see what is going to happen in my capacitance per unit length. That is, we shall see about C line also. So we know that C is there, which is given that expression. The first term is a normal capacitance, and the second thing is happening because of fringing effect. Okay, I'm not going into the depth. I'm just saying you this is an equation of the capacitance per unit length. Now, if I increase or if I change the capacitance, okay, what is going to, if I change the width, what is going to happen to my capacitance? That's what we want to see. We found that my resistance is not changing. Now, the new capacitance will be equal to, my W has been changed to W by S. Okay, that's what I have written as W by S into Tox. And I will be finding that my C dash, that is a newer capacitance per unit line, is reduced by S. Now C dash is reduced. What is C line? We know C line is equal to C into L. What is C line dash? Which is equal to C dash into L dash. What is C dash? C dash is reduced by a factor of S, C by L. And we are reducing the length, which is L is given as L by S. So what is this C dash? C dash is nothing but C line by S square. So newer capacitance C dash is equal to C line by S square. So what is tau dash? Tau dash is nothing but R line dash into C line dash. So tau dash can be given as 1 by S square of R line into C line. We know what is R line, we know what is C line. So if you multiply R line into C line, you will be finding that your delay is being reduced by a factor of S square if you reduce the width and the length of the interconnect. Okay, it is having a tremendous effort. Now next thing is I'm going to touch the thickness part. So if I do that thickness part as well as the oxide thickness, so T dash is being scaled down by a factor of S, and T ox, that is oxide thickness, is also being scaled down by a factor of S. What has happened to the sheet resistance? My sheet resistance is nothing but rho by T. So this R dash, that is sheet resistance of the newest scaled down resistance, will be nothing but rho by T, where your T is nothing but Rs dash is nothing but rho dash by T dash. What is this T dash? T dash is equal to T by S. So I can just substitute it over there and I will be finding that it is S into rho by T. What is R? That is resistance per unit length. So I am writing as Rs by W. So it is a newer sheet resistance. What is a newer resistance per unit length? Which is R dash. What is R dash? Which is Rs dash by W. We know Rs dash is equal to S into Rs by W. Okay, is it clear? We know what is the value of R and we are finding the value of R dash. We know the S dash value, Rs dash value. Just substitute the Rs dash value. You will be finding that it is equal to S times of, we know rho by T is nothing but the sheet resistance. That is what I have written, S into sheet resistance divided by W. So R line is equal to R into L, and R line dash will be equal to R dash into L dash. We know this equation. So what is going to happen? Your R is being increased by a factor of S, and that is given over there, which is S into R into L. So I'm going to find that when I reduce the thickness T and the oxide thickness, I'm going to get that my sheet resistance, that is my resistance of the entire interconnect, is going to be scaled down by a factor of S. Now in the same way, we shall see what is happening to our capacitance of the interconnect. So we know that the capacitance of your interconnect, which is C line. So C is nothing but the capacitance per unit length, and C dash is being scaled down by a factor of S into T, because my C is inverse related to the oxide thickness, where your oxide thickness is being scaled down to S. So the S, when it is coming to the numerator, we can find that the newer capacitance per unit length is equal to S into C. So we know C line is equal to C into L, and C line dash is equal to C dash into L dash, where C dash is nothing but S into C into L. So our newer line capacitance, after scaling down the thickness T and the oxide thickness, is being scaled down, or it is scaled up by a factor S. So now calculate the time delay. So delay is equal to R line into C line. What is that newer delay now? Which is tau dash is equal to R dash into C dash. So what is this R dash into C dash? We have just calculated, just substitute over everything. We will be finding that my delay is going to be increased by a factor of S square if I reduce the T and if I reduce the oxide thickness. Now, if I reduce the space between the interconnects, consider there are two interconnects, and if I want to reduce the space between the interconnects, we know that there will be a coupling capacitance that is associated between the interconnects. Now, I can write that this newer S dash is nothing but the space which is associated divided by my S. And the coupling capacitance, which is Cc, is inversely proportional to your S. So I have just given the expression for coupling capacitance for your understanding purpose. Now what is going to, I'm just understand that when I reduce the size or the space between my interconnect, my coupling capacitance is going to increase. Because of the increase in the coupling capacitance, when the space between the interconnect is being reduced, is going to give rise to another concept which is called as a crosstalk. So far in this video, we saw when I scale down the width as well as the length of my interconnect, we found that our delay is reduced by s square, whereas if I reduce the thickness and oxide, I found that my delay is increased by a factor of s square. So simple it is. And also the coupling capacitance, if I reduce the space s between the interconnect, I can see that my coupling capacitance is going to increase, which is that if I scale down the space by a factor of s, my coupling capacitance will increase, and that is going to give rise to another concept which is called as crosstalk, and that we will see in our next video. Thank you.